get better.
Now, how about this one, Shane? The other SEC matchup we had this weekend, it wasn't much of a game. Georgia, 48, South Carolina, 7. And how about this stat, Shane? This is pretty wild. Georgia ran 65 plays in this ball game.
Mm-hmm.
They had 30 first downs. So,
Jeez.
I mean, it's like, what do you – and, that takes away from all the touchdowns they scored in this game. Brock Bowers, absolute beast. He's my offensive player of the week, Shane. 5 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 rush, which was also a touchdown. Listen to the Georgia drive chart, Shane. Touchdown, 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 punt, field goal, touchdown, 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 field goal. I mean, my goodness, Shane, Georgia is just a machine right now. They had to do it in a rowdy environment. Stetson Bennett's throwing his guts up there. Didn't even matter. Didn't even faze them at all. They did a masterful job just taking this crowd completely out of the ball game, and it looked like half the stadium emptied out by about the third quarter.
Yeah, so did my living room, Mike. Nobody wanted to watch this damn game, but I was not turning it because it was SEC football, and it was not pretty, man. And I feel bad. I feel bad because South Carolina is being crowned right now a shitty team, and They're not. They just played some really tough programs. Arkansas, they played Georgia now. I mean, they've really. I mean, there's not a tougher schedule through 3 games, in my opinion, than the South Carolina Gamecocks. They've got some momentum. One of the best things they did, brother, was that opening. If there was anything good from that game, it was the first 12 minutes to kind of show you the environment they have down there. That place is electric. I can't wait to go watch a game down there. It should be fun. It looks like a toxic environment if you're a away team. It's just unfortunate that Georgia is just absolutely loaded. And they did whatever they wanted. They really did, Mike. They didn't have to show off, and it felt like they kind of kept the game plan conservative. But I'm with you. This was the Bauer show. MVP, no doubt about it. This guy took over, and he's got some unusual speed. I'm watching this. I don't know it felt like an 80-yard touchdown. I don't know. It was a long one. But I'm watching. I'm like, man, is this guy fast or is everyone else slow? I just couldn't figure it out, but it didn't matter. He is just an absolute animal. And I thought, honestly, he was going to take a little bit of a backseat this year with Eric Gilbert coming in and, all these other weapons that Stetson's now got around him.
Darnell Washington.
But, yeah, I mean, seriously, I thought when I was looking at the prize picks, and I didn't do it, thank God, but I was like, man, I'm taking the under. I think it was like 900 yards receiving for the year or something, or 800, something like that for the year. And I was like, give me the under,
He's about there already.
He got it. Yeah, he got it on Saturday. So I'm glad I didn't take that bet, but just an absolute animal and a great tool for this offense.
Yeah, and I forgot to even mention, Shane, this is the most lopsided victory in this series ever.
Uh-huh.
They've been playing forever. I think South Carolina. This is the team they've played. Clemson's number 1, but outside of Clemson, Georgia's the team they played the most. Is the worst loss. Just going by the points of the Shane Beamer era. Previously, that was 30 points.
Yeah.
This is obviously 42 here. So, man, just a rough day. Spencer Rattler, 13 of 25, 118, no touchdowns, 2 picks. They needed, their touchdown came basically as time expires with all the backups in. It was just kind of like a mercy thing. But I'm right there with you, Shane. I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound, but there's many Gamecocks or maybe they're not jumping off the ledge, but they got their toes on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I understand the schedule's going to get much, the entire schedule is brutal for the Gamecocks, but there's not another Georgia on it. There's no Alabama on it. And I guarantee you, Shane, this is not the first time that this Georgia team is going to beat a SEC team 48-7. There may have that at halftime in a couple of them, except maybe minus the 7.
That's exactly right. I was a little discouraged by the play calling again. I know that sounds like a repeat from last 2 years, last 2 games. Actually, last 2 years now that I think about it. But it felt like, why are we trying to establish a run against the Georgia Bulldogs? We've got Rattler here, and I know he made some terrible throws, but that we question some of them, like that wheel route to my boy. I don't know if maybe he was supposed to come back or something like that. You just never really know in those situations. But I thought with Georgia they would take more shots, and I felt like we didn't get that, and so I was kind of surprised with the play calling there. I guess that's what discouraged me most about South Carolina. Not that they weren't scrapping, because they were fighting tooth and nail, but it just felt like there wasn't a lot of creativity on the offensive side.
Yeah.
And there was, of course, Georgia, they just got behind their big uglies and played Georgia football. So but it's over. Like you said, we're on to the next one. Georgia, don't crown them just yet, but I'm glad I took the over on the regular season wins. I think it was 10.5. So I'm sitting pretty there.
Yeah, now that you made me think of it, Shane, it was just wild. We'd have a 3rd and long. We're taking the ball out of Spencer's hands. Things like that bothered me in this ball game. We said leading up to this, he's got to play a flawless game. He's got to throw, I think I said 6 touchdowns to make this a competitive game. That's about what he needed, and that's about what he was short. They did try a fake punt, which was executed fabulously. I mean, that's what you want to see, other than winning a game, being more competitive. But they were being aggressive. They were trying things like this, because that's what you got to do against a team of Georgia's caliber. You have got to, have big swings, because you ain't going to play conservative and upset the Georgia Bulldogs. But let me ask you this, Shane. I thought this was a lot of people took issue with old Shane Beamer after this game. Well, I don't want to say a lot. I'd say it was about 50-50. I think some people already, they're already out on somebody, and then they see something and it just reinforces it. But I want to hear your thoughts. Let's play this clip, Shane. Any give up in the locker room, he was asked after this one.
You sense any give up in the locker room?
Hell no. Kind of questions that, Phil. We're 1-2. We're 1-2. We got a bunch of fighters in that room, and give up. That's not a part of this football program. Get out of here, man. With that, no.
All right, Shane. So what do you think? I mean, I think he's always been a fiery, heated guy, especially after in these post game, because it means something to him. I would, but I think it's the perfect way to answer this. I mean, hell no, you're not going to say your team gave up and things of that nature.
What do you want him to say? I mean, I want him to take up for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I get it, but Beamer's got a thing to him, and let's not ignore it. I mean, you see him on the sideline. He's not really. Some people are good with cameras. I'm not. I'm just like Beamer. I'm not. I'm a bumbling idiot. I don't belong. I got a voice for the radio, but Beamer, they catch him in these little tantrums, and he was mad because people wouldn't get off. I think they were honoring his dad. He's like, "Get his old ass off my field," I think these little tantrums, and then the celebration. You remember on the week 1, he had that little dance around the circle thing. These things get out. They become internet memes. Nobody wants their coach to be. He's the new Dan Mullen. Let's call it like it is. Dan would say these clips in the press conferences. We'd cut them. We won't tell you exactly how we got here, but we'll just put this thing out, and then next thing you know, it's an internet meme, and it just goes viral. So I hate to say it, but that's who he is. But what else he is? He's a player's coach, and these kids love him. The kids absolutely love him. The kids want to play for him. They're going to keep recruiting well there. It's a great environment. South Carolina is building something. They're not there now, so why are you expecting it? But look what he got. He went to Oklahoma and got the best damn quarterback in the transfer. Right. I mean, and he brought him to Columbia. Take a second and think about that for a second. Columbia, I get in this part where I think Knoxville's the greatest town in the world, and I can't believe nobody wants to play for Tennessee Volunteers. But the older I get, the more I realize we're we're not the greatest place in the earth, but we could be, And Columbia, you're not there either. But your coach managed to pull these kids there. He's managing to get these kids to recruit and come to campus. That's what you want. So, you don't want him to be an internet meme. I get that, but you don't want him to not back his boys up either. So
Right.
I have no qualm with this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know you guys obviously took a few risks, at least early in the game, with the fake punt and things like that. I mean, was that kind of part of the game plan to come out and take some shots like that early and against a team like this?
Yeah, we felt like it. We need with us missing 5 starters on defense, just from a depth standpoint. If Georgia was out there for a ton of plays today, it was going to be kind of like the bowl game last year against North Carolina. We needed to control the ball and score points. And then take some chances. And we didn't really have to take chances against North Carolina in that bowl game. But, yes, we felt like we were going to have to go for some 4th downs today, which we did. And then we felt like we were going to need to steal a possession, special teams-wise as well. So, yeah, the fake punt was something that had a general idea if we came out like in that formation, how they would line up. And our guys did a good job of executing that. But, yeah, that was something that we wanted to get to early in the game. And at that point, I think it was 14-0, I think, and we hadn't stopped them yet. And I wasn't going to put our defense back out there for another drive at that point.
Do you think quarterback's a spot where you guys need to look at things competition-wise, or do you feel Spencer's still the guy moving forward?
I think Spencer will tell you he's got to play better. The interception to Juju was – they did a good job of covering it. Similar play that they hit us on later in the game to the running back, and got to throw it out of bounds. He was trying to, back shoulder it in there, which we don't need to be throwing a back shoulder fade on that route. Just everything that we do is we evaluate after every game, and we compete. And there's a lot of us that have to coach better and play better.
Now, Shane.
Now, what I do have a question, though, Mike, is did Paul Feinbaum text you or anything?
No, I think Georgia, they're just on to the next one. You know what I mean?
They
I
don't even
got
care.
more Kentucky people in my mentions right now. We'll get to them in a minute than I do Georgia for predicting this upset. Which, hey, credit to them Dogs. They're, I'm not in their head, so to speak. You know what?
Yeah. they done deleted you off, Mike. I ain't got time for that.
Well, I'll tell you who else, almost got deleted